episode is brought to you ad-free thanks to all of our wonderful patrons. You can get tons of exclusive content, including bonus episodes, warm-up audio, and early access to episodes, all while helping us keep the show going by joining at patreon.com/shonenflop.
Welcome to this episode of Shonen Jump.
No.
Sorry, our podcast is called Shonen Flop, where we talk about manga in Shonen Jump that didn't make it big. I'm David.
I'm Jordan.
Next week, we're covering Greens if you'd like to read along with us. Be sure to join the discussion in our Discord and submit your 6-word summary. Find a link to it in our episode description and on our website, shonenflop.com. And that's how listeners know that we do not pre-record that intro. We may do it live every time. But this week, we are talking about Shadow the Eliminator, or Shadow Eliminators, as these were commonly known.
David, you all right, man?
No. We are joined by our guest, Mugi. Thank you so much for joining us. Do you mind telling the audience a little bit about yourself?
Thank you for having me here. I love being here at Shonen Jump. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
Jordan, I think he thinks he's on the Shonen Jump podcast.
Don't tell him.
It did end, so maybe their name's up for grabs.
No, I'm doing great. I just make funny videos. Some about One Piece, some about like Naruto and stuff. Just about how funny the series is when you look at it from other people's perspective, and just a funny guy not taking stuff too serious on YouTube.
I absolutely love it. We talked in the warm-up audio about what if Karakuri had killed Luffy and Luffy activated Gear 5 and Whole Cake Island, which was a great idea. I also just want to say a big thank you for Diego, if you're listening in our Discord, for suggesting us reach out to you, Mugi, to be a guest. So Diego, thank you so much for your recommendation.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Diego.
Mugi, I want to ask, I know you look at the comedy in One Piece and kind of like, I feel like, I don't know the best way to frame it, rhetorical maybe. What do you think is the like intentionally funniest part of One Piece, and why was it when Luffy pushed that zombie back down in Thriller Bark?
I was going to say,
well, that's a good one. That is definitely a good one. There's a couple that contend with that. I'll tell you what's, to me, a little bit funnier.
Okay, good.
When he pulled the octopus out of his pants after G8, when they're just like, how do we get out of here? And he just pulls an octopus out of his pants. And then they're like, oh, you've just had that down there this whole time? And he's like, down where? And it just never,
Have you seen Smiling Friends?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it feels like a very Smiling Friends moment.
It truly does. Like, in the whole arc, he's just not serious. Like, the whole time, like, they're goofing around in the kitchen. Sanji's being absolutely serious. Luffy's just, like, he's messing around. He put, like, chicken tenders in the oven. The oven explodes. It's actually insane.
It's crazy how good G8 is as a filler arc.
Oh, yeah.
Most people probably don't even know it's not canon.
Didn't Oda kind of make it canon, sort of?
No. Okay, so if I may, there is a common misconception because characters from G8 show up in Marineford, but that was only in the anime, sadly. I know.
Him pushing the zombie back in the ground is very funny. Look, because I don't think he knows what a zombie. He just saw that guy should not be out here, and he just puts him back in there. So that is a really funny moment.
He's like, I think not.
Yeah, it's just like the next time I'm in a horror movie, I'm gonna try that. Just like, all right, just go back in there.
Out your consent. Just say no.
Oh God, I feel like the next funniest one though is definitely Eneru's face when he realizes he can't hurt Luffy.
Oh, I laughed so fun. I think I rewatched that scene 3 or 4 times.
One of the funniest faces ever made in a manga.
That's true.
It may be the cultural legacy of One Piece is that face. Mugi, for context, Jordan and I were talking about this last episode where I have some Zoomer friends and I told them about like older memes. Jordan, do you remember which one? Oh, over 9,000. Yeah. They're like, we know about it. We respect it as history, but we would never use it unironically. So it's like in the Library of Congress for culturally relevant memes.
Yeah.
I love that.
I do think we are getting close to there probably being a Library of Congress repository of meme history.
That's a good point. There needs to be at some point. I think we're pretty close. We've already got enough to put it to fill a museum, in my opinion.
Yeah,
exactly.
But, there at one point there's going to be a museum of memes.
There has to be, right?
Yeah, that's what our children will study, is taking meme history as an elective.
There will absolutely be a college major somewhere.
You have to write your 5-page paper on the impact font.
About why the guy holding all those limes, like what it means.
What did he do with those limes?
What the hell is happening here?
God, okay, so we are getting off topic. Let's actually talk about this manga, because we're not talking about Kagurabashi, where we can just talk about memes all day as we're reviewing it. We are talking about Shadow Eliminators, so we're going to hear Jordan talk about the manga details.
So this is Shadow Eliminators, or as Tucker notes here, it is also known as Rui Rui Senki, which according to Tucker directly translates to Tale of the Fight Against That Which is Accumulating. There's a reason why they didn't keep that.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they did, but anyway, this is by Kento Amemiya. Another work that he did was Kuroma-Divine Beastkeeper- 2019 3 chapters Jump Giga. According to MaxyBee, it's another one of those short Giga minis they use to show off talent. At least one major character in Shadow Eliminators began existence there. That's apparently in the trivia section, so we will get to that. But not talking about that, Shadow Eliminators, Tale of the Fight Against That Which is Accumulating, ran from December 4th, 2023 to April 22nd, 2024. It replaced David Icehead Gill. That's an episode.
We know that one.
Oh, we know that one.
Probably one of the ugliest character designs I've ever seen in Shonen Jump.
Yeah, that manga is as if somebody tried to make God of War using One Piece character designs, but was unable to even remotely do it.
Did you say Icehead Gill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
The series that replaced this, though, was Psych House, which, it just got canceled.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
it got canceled while MaxyBee was writing their notes, but MaxyBee didn't update to note it. But they do note it later on in their notes to us.
Oh, God. But series that started at the same time as it was Green Green Greens by the author of David Beast Children.
Beast Children. So someone posted a picture of Green Green Greens, and unironically in the Discord, I said, this looks like if the Beast Children artist had spent another 5 years working on his art. And someone was like, can you, well, guess who drew this? So and it's going to be our next episode as MaxyBee literally writes episode 112.
Which means that this episode is 111.
It is.
Make a wish. But just so you're aware, Mugi, we have a 3-tier system of judgment here. We have flop, certified flop, which is the absolute worst, and of course not a flop. We didn't have certified flop, and then we read Beast Children and decided, no, we need something below flop.
Oh my gosh.
Our stupid asses thought that the majority of the manga we would read for this podcast would be good. I think it's about 1 in 10 are worth reading.
That's so optimistic.
Yeah.
We were but simple summer children.
It turns out that if a manga gets canceled, there is often a reason for that.
Shonen Jump knows what it's doing with its cancellations a lot of the time.
Generally speaking. Yeah. I mean, you could argue that it's because they ruin the series with their editors sometimes. That's another conversation.
That's true.
Because we're talking about Shadow Eliminators, 19 chapters, 3 volumes. Let's get into the plot.
Asakaze is the head of the Public Morals Committee at his high school, and he is obsessed with justice, and by that, I mean he's a huge narc. One day, however, a guy named Aoba Kuramori joins his class, and he doesn't care about rules at all.
Could you fucking imagine?
Aoba and his grandma, an old lady who isn't his grandmother and looks 22, which is true, that's crazy, moved into town so he can train in order to fight Kasane, or shadows, and eliminate them. Because he's a shadow eliminator, which is the title of this manga, they end up fighting a possessed teacher who was bullied by her students when Asakaze finds himself drawn into the fight. Aoba, it turns out, has a Kasane inside of him.
What?
Which lets him turn his right arm into a cool, slinky sword. Aoba takes out the Kasane, and all the other people can't remember what happened, so we can establish a status quo. Aoba and Asakaze agree to start a Shadow Eliminators Club, where they eliminate shadows. Shadow Eliminators, Shadow Eliminators, Shadow Eliminators!
Can I just be honest? This is like molasses to my ears. I'm like, I just want you to read this whole plot.
You're doing a great job. I'm loving how you read it.
You definitely have a voice for radio.
That's I love it. That's how I like whenever I do like narration in video. I love like giving it like you guys remember like watching Dragon Ball Z when we grow up, and it's just and on the last time where they were just powering up. I'm gonna make it sound more interesting.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
Popcorn Jordan.
There's some Monster of the Week shit where they help an actor dealing with pressure from his dad and a girl whose only friend disappeared. Grandma then trains them real hard until they become each other's first friends. Their class goes on a field trip to an arboretum where a guy who looks a lot like Mash from Mashal turns into a Kasane and is taken out by Nagito, an officially sanctioned Eliminator, and that is, to be clear, a Shadow Eliminator, with magic guns, who has a sad backstory when his dad turned into a Kasane. So now he hates Kasanes and wants to kill Aoba because he has a Kasane inside of him. However, Aoba's backstory is just as tragic. So he fights Nagito to a draw, kinda. It does that thing where it's like, I have my sword at your throat, I got my gun pointed at you, but then Aoba's, but my sword can't hurt people, and Nagito's like, well, dang, all right, I feel goofy now, sorry. And he just kind of walks away. They infiltrate a mansion with a bunch of missing people who are forced to be servants and family of a guy who's really sad that his wife died and not quite as sad that his daughter died. Nagito shows up to help along with his partner Togami, a girl who speaks with a paper bag puppet and doesn't wear underwear. They defeat the bad guy, but then Aoba's evil twin Zen shows up.
Of course, he has a fucking evil twin.
Always.
No, really, like his evil twin Zen. His name is Zen. He shows up and he's got two friends, a hot girl named Hisame and a weird dude whose name doesn't matter because he's not a hot girl. They turn into Kasanes and start causing shit, so Aoba turns into a Kasane and continues to cause shit until some other Shadow Eliminators show up to save them, Popcorn Dave.
Aoba, I keep wanting to call him Adoba.
Or Kadoba.
Dude, I keep wanting to call him Adobe.
Aoba Photoshop.
Yeah. Adoba ends up in a containment. I don't know what's so funny. Containment too. And he tells Asakaze his tragic backstory about how he and his brother were raised in a cult that worshiped Kasane. They were both descendants of a guy who died and sent his skull back to the living world and were taken care of by Seri, who is a double agent working for the Shadow Eliminators.
By the way, real quick, dumbest joke in the whole fucking manga is when Seri gets like stabbed and then Aoba's like, hey Siri, and then Zen even calls him out on it and he's like, that joke sucks.
Yeah, that was an editor note. God. One day the skull calls to them and drags them both to hell, where they both get the Kazanes and then resurrects them. Zen goes crazy and kills Seri. Oh, maybe they'll try Alexa next time. He says he wants to rule the world and kills everyone at the cult compound. Adobo is taken in by the Shadow Eliminators HQ, where he's raised and taught to fight. Adobo's master shows up and makes him accept his Kazane by sending them into a magic book.
It's like when Ichigo went into fucking the Zanpakuto.
Oh, really? This is similarities to...
It's like identical to that.
It's similarities to other manga, you don't say.
Yeah.
Almost criminally so. Almost criminally so.
Zen and his posse attack and all look lost until Adobo appears and activates his devil trigger. So you're right, man. We should have just called him Dante, allowing him to easily kill Zen with 500 swords, just like Archer from Fight Stay Night. The skull then shows up and makes Adobo disappear for some reason. 2 years later, Asakaze is the school president and he ends up being reunited with Adobo, who was protected from the skull by Zen somehow. And that's how the end. Wow. Asakaze did nothing except probably remind the teacher that they didn't assign homework yet.
I was like almost done with this plot summary and realized that like I barely wrote Asakaze's name and he's like the POV character. He did nothing.
He didn't do anything.
Yeah, but we still have to talk about him, so...
I would love to if there's anything worth talking about with him. That's what's crazy, dude. Like, it's literally...
He has this little house.
Every time I saw that house, I was like, okay.
I don't know how the house worked. I honestly don't.
I don't know how the house works either.
I don't know what it does.
And then they changed how the house worked.
Oh my God. I truly do not know, but he doesn't really like do. And yeah, like if he's supposed to be the POV character, because he's the first person that like we see, and it's like, I get it. He like likes the rules and stuff. So yeah, like Asakaze, like, so he's okay. So I'll just read. He's tight with the rules, and you can tell because he wears glasses, you know, is real like Uryu coded. I guess that's who he's supposed to be. You know, he's got the power of a little house. I don't know what that means or what it is.
It means he's a millennial if he has the power of a little house.
Yeah, I alone can conquer the housing market with my little house.
Yes, with my 12% interest rate.
Yeah.
He's the power of a New Yorker.
But he doesn't really do anything throughout the whole plot, or at least definitely not enough to justify him being like as prominent as it feels like the author wants him to be.
He mostly exists to be Aoba's bro.
Yeah.
So this series made me feel like, okay, so this guy really likes Shaman King. Because
Right.
Asakaze is basically Manta from Shaman King.
Yeah.
Except taller. It's the same thing where it's this POV character who's like way lamer than the actual main character. And sometimes kind of be useful, except not because he does nothing.
It's unfortunate because like we should have like things to enjoy about him that are different from Kuromori, and I just kept thinking like, okay, so but he truly does not do anything. Like I didn't go back and like make sure that was true, but I just in my mind's eye I'm going over everything that I remember, and I swear I can't remember him doing anything other than supporting Kuromori.
Here's the thing. It's one thing to have a fish out of water character who's like an audience surrogate that learns things, except you then have to have that character do things.
Yes, have a different perspective, sure, but have that inform the plot. He could even be a reactionary character, but do something. Like react, do something, anything.
They just, the author just genuinely forgets he exists for a large part of the series.
He exists solely so that the other characters have somebody to talk to in order to dump exposition.
Yeah, because he's also the only POV because they wiped them. We're getting into it, but they wiped the mind of every other character in the series.
I hate that shit. It's so stupid.
I fucking hate it. Anyway, Jordan, why don't you tell us about Chicken Adobo?
So this is Aoba Kuromori, aka Yo Asakura. Oh my god. I don't know. Like, he's just kind of a lame slacker dude who's from the mountains, but he's got a really tragic backstory and an evil twin brother. Oh wait, I'm talking about Yo Asakura again. But he's got like a demon inside of him, I guess. And fuck, I don't know. He's just lame. Like,
I like how the offer's like, well, I have to do this whole let's convince the demon inside of me to be my friend. Oh, I don't have 100 chapters to do any sort of actual character development. Let's have one conversation and fix the problem.
So what you're telling me is that he could have already been here if you took him to one session of therapy.
So that's what I was thinking. So you didn't even try to do this before. That's crazy. That's crazy.
He's like, wait, you can talk to them?
That's insane. I was blown away how quick that happened.
I also thought it was really funny how they do it by sealing away his Kasane temporarily, and it's just like, wait, you could just do that?
Yeah.
This whole time you could just do that? Like,
that's a good point. What the hell? Manufactured conflict.
Why didn't we ever try that before?
Oh my god.
Like temporarily, okay, so you just redo it every now and then.
This offer didn't think about things.
No.
But yeah, and he has an evil twin brother.
He sure does, David. He sure does.
And he also has someone who he calls his grandma, but then we find out isn't his grandma. And I never really understood who she was. And I'm wishing I wasn't the one who had to talk about her. But I'm talking about their cool grandma, whose name I also forgot to write down.
They just call her grandma all the time.
Yeah.
What if she's in her 30s, but her legal name is grandma? And that's why they call her grandma?
That would be funnier. I would want that, actually.
I think her first name is Grandma and her last name is Exposition, because that's what she does.
Yes, Grandma Exposition. Yeah. Okay, so you're also ripping off Dawn to Dawn, where you have this very youthful, badass grandma character, which I know Dawn to Dawn didn't exist, but it is very clear you're contemporary that also did this trope.
Again, though, David, whatever you're saying, she is functionally filling the role of Anna from Shaman King.
Oh, yeah.
Where she trains the fuck out of Yo and I think forces Manta to do some stuff, like just being like a total like hard ass and like explaining what's going on to the audience. That's what Anna does. That's what Grandma does, except worse.
Yeah, I think that there's nothing else to say about the character.
What do you say?
Fun fact, can anyone tell me who that character on the first chapter in the color art? There is a lady who I don't think ever actually shows up in this manga, but is on the first cover art.
I know exactly who she is.
Is that the rock and roll girl?
That is the rock and roll girl, and I will tell you why. It's because it is extremely clear that the author was going to make her more important, but ran out of time.
And then he forgot.
That's sad and funny.
It is so clear to me because she's the only one who she shows up in multiple chapters where it doesn't make any sense for her to do that unless the author was trying to get you personally to know about her. It's not like the actor guy ever shows up again.
Yeah, he shows up in 3 chapters, the idol.
Yeah.
I actually had him here and then I deleted him.
He does nothing.
Yeah, but I think we're already starting to rant about this series, so let's get into why it failed. So Mugi, as our honored guest, can you tell us what were some things you did not like about this series?
From the beginning, probably like all of it. I don't know. And I really don't want to be, because to be honest, I mean, I guess I'll get into that when we talk about what it did well. But like, yeah, from the jump, I was like, all right, what are you doing? What are we like? What's the, because we're doing like a monster of the week type thing. And it just kind of like drug for me. It really did. And I was waiting for it to get, I feel like it did eventually pick up for sure. But then when it picked up, it was so like edgy and like, I was like it picked up in like such a direction. You know, I wanted some more nuance, some more something. I wanted some more from the bad guys. And like, I don't know. I just didn't get it, man. I just did not get it.
Yeah, even the bad guys are so paper. You have the evil twin brother, and then you have like the wife guy villain, which is also like every series has the wife guy villain in it.
Oh, you mean Shaman King with Faust?
Yeah,
who
or Mr.
resurrects
Freeze.
his wife?
I didn't even think about that till now, that the wife guy bad guy is like a very solid stereotype.
Yeah, it's pretty evil. It's pretty evil. It's fine. I would, okay, if you're going to have a bad guy be like that, just like, you know, I'm just evil, then I would, okay, sure, make that the twin brother. At least make him like interesting, I guess. But just for every bad guy, like there's nothing to like, I don't know, man. There's no one wants anything else. Like, what's happening here?
To me, the thing that really just killed this manga was the pacing. Like, this manga is paced and tells its story. It reminded me of a non-racist Tokyo Shinobi Squad did. But the fact where it's like, nothing's happening until, oh man, something's happening. And then it's over. The chapter with the school idol or whatever, they introduce him and then he's like, I'm an actor. I'm a really good actor. Things are good. And then like halfway through, it's like, but actually I feel a lot of pressure. Oh man, now I'm at Kasane. Hey, that's my dad in the audience. I'm going to go kill him. Oh, it's over. Hey, what's up? I'm done.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then we wiped everyone's mind, so there's no lasting impact of that story arc.
It's so fast, and they do that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's like through this. It's crazy.
This is like such a common thing. I understand the impulse to do this. You don't want to bore your audience. I get it. I totally do. But you need to take time with this shit because otherwise none of it matters.
Yeah.
There's no buildup. You have to do buildup. You have to you have to make your audience care.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. You have to make us care. Never did I care.
No.
Like, that's crazy.
Because the first 6 chapters are literally plot treading water, and then the author's like, oh, fuck, yeah, I should have a plot, shouldn't I? And then shotguns in the last 10
and
chapters.
Then boom, evil brother. And it's like, dude, it's too late, bro. It's too late. I don't care anymore.
Yeah. Also, like, they completely get rid of, I think, having like a Shadow Eliminator club is a fun idea, and then they just completely abandon it because they're like,
dude,
oh, here's like the actual police of this like issue. So we're really actually not doing anything useful when there's professionals very actively dealing with the same issues we're trying to tackle.
They abandoned a lot of things. Remember in the first chapter how they were like, yeah, these shadows, they have hollows. You got to find the hollows and go inside of them.
I don't even fucking remember that.
Yeah, exactly. You don't remember it.
I remember only because I knew, I was like, I bet he got in trouble for that. That's Bleach. Like, I'm sure he dropped that specifically because he was like, maybe I'll leave that alone.
Shonen Jump legal.
Yeah. I was like, chill.
Oh god. But the series it drops so many things. And by the way, every explanation of what was going on was more confusing than the last. They were like, the threads come in from the other world, which is like, here's a Venn diagram explaining how the other world relates to our world. And like, we overlap and like the threads go in here and then you can like wrap up all the threads in this little thing, except when you can't. And then the threads are taken in by like negative feelings. And there was just a player like, what the fuck is going on? I have no idea what is happening.
It's not even fun confusing like JJK, where you go in and you're like, I'm not going to get any of this, but let's fight.
I don't believe a single fucking person knows how the last 30 chapters of JJK. No one knows.
They do not. Don't believe them if they say that, because they do not.
I do not believe a single person knows how the JJK power system works.
Nope, not at all. I certainly
I'm so
don't.
glad you're on this episode, vindicating where I just have given up trying to understand JJK.
Oh, a long time ago. I gave up.
That's so sad.
You're not alone.
Also, that there is even further confusion when it turns out that the shadows can be used like a virus that is like injected through a collar.
Yeah, that's when I was like, when I saw that syringe and stuff, like, I was just like, I don't think I get it anymore.
I also, on a different direction, to get back to the characters, there is no character development except for some very fake character development in Adobo. Azakaze, we never understand why he is so motivated, why he's the school president. We don't see his family. We don't see him do a single thing that's not hanging out with his boyfriend. So it's like they don't feel like real characters.
There is one panel where he talks to his big sister, who we don't see. And he mentions, like, in the first chapter, it seems very important that his grandfather was a cop who got killed. But again, it is never, ever brought up or commented on after that.
That's what I remember the most is because I remember remembering that specifically, like, okay, Yuji and his grandfather, like, just as a reference point. But the thing with it, like, say what you want about JJK, but at least with that, like, that comes back and Yuji mentions it again. And then it's like, you know, this is the impetus for me doing all of this. So I kept that in mind thinking, all right, so this is probably, you know, why he's so lame at least or something. But like, no, nothing happened.
So stupid. All right. Does anyone have any more negatives or shall we actually have to talk about some positives?
Just the execution was not great.
Yeah, poor execution, but you know what? The execution of this podcast is fantastic. So let's get into what it did well.
Yeah.
So Mugi, keeping the positive train vibe, yeah. So go for it.
I did really like okay. Let me back that up just a tad.
What thing did you hate the least? This is what it sounds like.
I did think that the art was good. I thought it was solid when I started reading. And then the character designs too. But then I started looking more into the character designs and I was like, why does he have a tribal tattoo though? Why would there be a teenager that was allowed to get that? And then of course we learned more about it, but still from the beginning I was like,
it's not a tattue, it's a mark. Excuse me.
Yeah. He said that and I was like, whatever, dude.
That sounds like some sovereign citizen shit.
Yeah,
literally. I was like, whatever, dude, sure. But yeah, I liked Togami. Was that her name?
Yeah.
The girl. Yeah, I did like her. I thought she was funny.
I would have liked her more if we hadn't read multiple manga before this where a character just talks through their puppet. Like, this is apparently a common trope.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like, when it happened again here, I'm like, again?
Oh, God. How many other times does it happen?
I just think of Digimon Tamers when you say that.
Yeah. There is at least one, I don't remember the title, there's one I immediately think of, and then I feel like there was another one.
Can you describe it?
David, you might remember the title, where it was like that guy with like the brothers who never mattered again, who was like who wanted to be like a Shonen Jump author, but was bad, and then he,
the guy who has the squirrel that turns into a gun.
What? Wait.
That is unironically the best part of that series. This guy has the ability to turn animals into guns.
That's so funny.
I think it was Takama Gahara.
Yeah.
So yeah, Takama Gahara had a guy turn squirrels into guns.
That's one of those series where half of it is pretty good, and then the other half is very not. I think I like the art even more than you did. I actually really enjoyed the art. I think that the Kasanes got a little bit samey until they started like fusing with them. I thought those designs were pretty cool, even if the whole thing reminded me of Hollows and Hollow designs from Bleach, to be clear. But the thing about Togami is she contributed to like the one really good joke that I saw in the series where she's fighting what's her name? Yeah, she's the hot girl.
The other the hot girl with that was with Zen.
Yeah, fuck's her name? Oh, Hisame. She's fighting Hisame and she goes up to give like this kick and she like raises up her foot and Hisame's just like, wait, you're not wearing any, and then gets kicked, and it's like, oh, yeah, she's like, you're not wearing any underwear. It's like, okay, that's pretty good.
She's cool. She's quirky. She's cool. And for some reason, she doesn't wear underwear. I like it. Best character to me. I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very important to her character development. She doesn't wear underwear.
Yeah.
It reminds me, there was a brief mention that Nagito is a cis-con, and it matters for 2 panels.
Yeah, God.
Somebody tries to I actually did kind of like this moment where a guy tries to make him like hallucinate that his little sister is here, and she's like, oh, big brother, and he like just easily like knocks her away, and he's like, how did you know? And he's like, because my little sister has never been that nice to me.
That was pretty great. I do also feel like the demon possession being a metaphor for mental illness was a very interesting idea and probably was the secret sauce to what could have been a more creative approach to this idea.
Yeah.
Because it's like very clearly supposed to represent like anxiety with the actor or depression with the person in the first chapter. They obviously gave up on this idea, but he at least was trying to make it at least seem like a metaphor for something more interesting.
If they would have kept going with that, that could have been a way it would have been different from like Bleach and JJK, or not, maybe not different, because they kind of do the same thing, but they don't play into it. I really want to like read a series or watch a series where they really lean into that and they go into that. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it sounds like let's get into where it could have gone. The one last thing is I think we can also all agree, as we mentioned before, the paneling and art, all of like the fundamentals are pretty solid, and it gives me good hope for this offer for their next series.
Really feels like this guy needs to stop writing manga and just be an artist.
Yeah.
He'd do good. It's like, just have a better writer tell this guy what to draw. He'll be good. He'll be golden.
Yeah.
Before we get into where it could have gone, if you've been enjoying the show, we'd really appreciate if you subscribe to the Shonen Flop YouTube. We're trying to hit our goal of 1,500 subscribers, and if we hit it, we're going to do a special episode on the epilogue to Build King, which we didn't cover in that episode. So yes, we're going to force Jordan and I to read more Build King and do a bonus episode on that.
God.
If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. And so Jordan, though, what stands out to you as something that you would have revised about this series to have made it a success?
Here's the thing. This series was 100% going to make the rock girl be important. She was going to be like the third main character, and then he just didn't know what the fuck to do. So like,
he couldn't even balance two characters.
He couldn't balance two characters. First of all, I would have absolutely made it so that like it was more difficult for Kuramori to deal with the Kasane, and Asakaze had to help. Like Asakaze added in something. Like Asakaze mattered, okay? Bottom line is I would have made a series where Asakaze fucking mattered at all or did something.
Yeah.
They go from being enemies to best friends way too quickly. I would have liked that tension to kind of build up a bit.
For them to be so opposite, for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I want. It just kind of felt like you start a series. Like if it would be like if you started Naruto from Sakura's POV, that would just be so confusing. I think.
Yeah.
This series does it follows the flop structure that I noticed, where the main character meets a guy who he would like to be his brother, and the guy likes him and sees that he's talented for no fucking reason that we've been able to see, and then the rest of the series is us watching through the POV character about how cool that guy is.
Yeah,
which is I feel like half the manga we cover here.
I think it's pretty fair to say, Jordan.
Yeah.
So I alluded to before, I think a really solid idea would have been if they had continued to play up, because at first they're like, we're going to be the club that fights monsters. And I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe we'll have some kids on bikes, working, having to avoid the cops or the real pros. Obviously doesn't happen. But I think that would have been cool is what if they were the therapy club and really went in on that whole monsters mental illness. Obviously it's not we killed the monster, your depression is gone, it's but it's your path towards discovering how to solve things. Or they're we defeated the worst part of it, but to truly get rid of it, you have to work on yourself. Imagine it was the body improvement club from Mob Psycho fighting monsters.
I think we all agree that we wouldn't have had their memories get wiped.
I am so mad. I don't know how the editor didn't say, hey, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Example of lazy writing when they try and hide the magic.
Amnesia always is just so bad, but to go on to what you were earlier saying, just about going into if they were the therapy club, dude, what if it was just Smiling Friends but with ghosts? That would be so cool.
God damn it. Oh, fuck. That's the best pitch I've ever heard in my entire Smiling Friends with Ghosts.
Oh, that's awesome.
So awesome. I would watch it.
That sounds like an episode of Smiling Friends.
I think it might be.
I think so too.
There is the ghost in that one episode. I'm not a memory. I really died after you left, and I'm in hell right now.
God, I love that show. Also, I think something also they alluded to that could have been cool is they kind of talk about how important magic artifacts are and where they come from. And what if this was actually a series about how are magic artifacts created? Because you never really see shows that have these systems, say, besides maybe Witch Hat Altier, where they really get into nitgrits and say, here's how you make magic artifacts. Here are the rules to the system in a way where what they have to build out follows it. Imagine a Dr. Stone, but about magic.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Because literally the main character can only fight using magic items.
I agree. I think that this series was implying that it was going to be a club where it was oh man, we're just two guys trying to figure it out and stuff like that. But it's Bleach if the Soul Society showed up in chapter 5.
Yeah.
Where you got no time at all with Ichigo and Rukia, and you just immediately, oh, hey, there's the rest of the Soul Society. Okay.
Yeah. Did you guys have any other ideas?
I just think they should have tried harder, man. I don't know.
Do better is Mookie's feedback.
Do better, honestly.
Should have been better. Do good.
They should have just made it about the grandma, and it's the old lady detective agency. The first show of Shonen Jump's first 80-year-old grandma protagonist.
Do it.
They should have made her actually an old woman, and then I actually would have like unironically read that. Like, all right, what's going on, Grandma? What are you doing? I'd be interested.
They have old women and de-age them fairly frequently. I mean, that's Genkai, for one thing.
Yeah.
Could have done that here is what I'm saying, or something like that, where it's like...
I think Shonen Jump needs more gilfs.
You know what, David? I agree.
I agree.
And I'm not afraid to say it.
No, I think no one's gonna. When you really think about it, that's right.
I agree.
Let's get into miscellaneous thoughts. We're talking about other things. I still think it's so weird every time it shows up how like school idols are just like a fact of life in Japan. Where you're like, oh, you just have that famous classmate because it's shown up in like a lot of series we've covered.
Right?
Dude, the first time I got introduced to that was Persona. Like, I think it was Persona 4, I'm pretty sure. And like they have, what was her name?
Rise.
Yeah.
Yes, Rise. Oh my gosh. And the way like she interacts with everybody, and like that's the first time I learned about it. Then I was like, I forgot the other like anime or manga that I was looking at. But then I just learned like, yeah, that's like a real like regular thing. Is that like an actual thing like in Japan, like a real like regular thing that, or is that just a trope that's in like anime and manga?
I'm sure it's something that happens sometimes. I don't know how common it is, but I mean, like...
Maybe they have like different, it's not as easy to be privately tutored in Japan. So they may just have to actually go to school.
Yeah. Also, like, you know, Japan is like you're talking about people who are only famous in Japan. It's more insular, I guess, than being like an international star. I have no idea. Somebody fucking send us a comment or something about how common this is. I don't know.
I would love to know, because it thoroughly made me think like this is like, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to, on both ends, like if I was a school idol and if I just had a classmate that was just like super famous, just standing right next to me, I'd be like, I wouldn't get any work done. I'd be like, you guys know this is crazy, right? Like this is absolutely insane that they're like right next to us.
Sometimes it feels like school idol is just code for the most popular girl in school.
Yeah, but this lady was like an actual celebrity.
Yeah.
Or the guy was an actual celebrity.
Yeah, on posters and stuff, and movies and stuff too, and Rise's, I'm pretty sure I was like, so this is insane. This is crazy.
Rise is like a model. Yeah.
And on too, like they have like modeling gigs and stuff, and they're like on magazines, and I was like, why are you in high school? What is going on?
Have you guys ever actually read a good manga that has like a monster hunting society that the main character like gets exposed to and then joins? It just feels like it's just designed to be a very lazy plot.
I like half of Bleach a lot.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so happy with how you said that, because same. I would say it exactly like that. I like half of Bleach a lot.
I mean, I hate when it turns into, 100 chapters went by and nothing happened.
The heart.
Yeah, I hate that like nothing happens if Ichigo isn't doing it. I loved like getting to know the characters and like that Monster of the Week format in the beginning, and then like the Soul Society happens and it's like, okay, this is interesting. And then I mean, I would even say I kept going, but I don't know, just something happened and it's just like, all right, so this is not like nothing's really happening.
I'm telling you,
Ichigo's
they get to Hueco Mundo and then you get hundreds of chapters where just nothing happens.
And it's just a retread of Soul Society.
It's just Soul Society, but worse.
That is true. Literally, it's just like, hey, did you like Soul Society? Well, guess what? We're doing it again, baby.
Oh, God.
God. Also, I thought it was kind of weird that there was no like kidnapping cold open to the mansion storyline. That felt like there was no setup. They were just like, oh, there's been kidnappings instead of just showing us a kidnapping.
Yeah, that would have been more impactful. I don't know why that they did it. Like they just expected us to be like, oh, they'll be on board with this. No one likes kidnapping. We don't have to show it. It's fine.
You know, another reason why the Amnesia plotline was so stupid is that they establish in the first chapter how this could happen without normal people noticing. They go into another world where they fight the Kasane. So you could already have it where like, yeah, the people involved are aware of it, but nobody else knows. There you go. Like that right there. That is kind of how you do that without the fucking amnesia shit. It's like putting a hat on a hat. Like you don't need both.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Also, like, how was he not part of the official Shadow Eliminators? I'm so confused by that. I thought it was like, oh, he's all alone, but no.
And his besides his grandma.
Yeah, well, his grandma was an official Shadow Eliminator. He was a part of the Shadow Eliminators HQ. He grew up there. But Nagito shows up and it's like, you are an unlicensed Shadow Eliminator that doesn't work here. It's like, what are you talking about?
What are you doing with your, like, that's... It's actually so funny. Yeah, no, I hunt ghosts, but like that's just like I just do that sometimes, dude. I'm not like licensed or anything.
But it's also like the HQ is aware he exists. You're acting like he's just some dude who you saw for the first time and he's like, whoa, who's that guy? We don't know who he is. He grew up there.
Oh my God.
His teacher works there.
Yeah, it's fucking strange. She's like, oh, I forgot to tell you about that thing that you already knew about.
No, but not just grandma. He has an additional master who shows up in like the third to last chapter.
Oh, yeah, the book guy.
Who works there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, clearly they erased his memory.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Before we move on, let me read some MaxyBee thoughts. Shadow Eliminators is a rarity in modern Shonen Jump in that it was canceled and removed from the magazine before Volume 1 hit shelves.
Oh, my God.
Brutal.
It's clear in Volume 1 that the author knew this well in advance and dedicates a space to being thankful for what they did receive. They got serialized in Jump, got fan letters, and managed to get 3 volumes published. Hey, you know what? It's 3 more than I've had published. Though I have had a one-shot published online.
That is true.
That's awesome.
About basketball grandma. On that note of crazy grandma manga.
Wait.
David wrote a manga called Basketball
Yeah,
Grandma.
imagine if we just don't explain that
I was
comment
about to
about
say,
I have a
like,
published manga about basketball grandma.
You just keep reading, like, wait.
Huh?
Like,
Yeah.
what?
Okay. All right, Jordan, why don't you tell our guest about the manga I made?
Oh
Please.
God, David made a manga about a grandma who is extremely tall and used to play basketball.
Jordan did an awful job as he normally does. It's called I Can't Fall in Love. It's like, I forget the name we went with, but I just called Basketball Grandma, but it was like, I can't fall in love because of my 6'4" former NBA or my former professional basketball player grandma. And it's literally about a girl who tries to fall in love with guys and keeps getting cock blocked by her giant grandma.
I was about to say, please, as the more you talked, I was like, do not say another word. Just send me the manga. Like, do not say it. The more you kept talking, I was like, stop, please. I must experience this myself.
And yes, we have covered it on Shonen Flop on the Patreon if people want to hear Jordan and I review a manga I wrote.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Taper Clip who drew it. So this is where MaxyBee notes while I was finishing my notes on this series, I got notified Psych House got canceled.
Oh God.
Kuramori's design is based on Kamen Rider characters, which is great.
Ah.
The grandma has seen the era change 4 times, so she is super old because it has to make her at least 112. So she is actually a legit certified G-MILF, GILF.
G-MILF.
So respect the hustle, Jordan.
If she's like over 112, that's like a GGG MILF.
Yeah.
No, that's the next series we're reading, Jordan.
That does sound like a fucking anime title, though. GGG MILF.
Yeah, it does. I'm just imagining if Grandma Detective Agency, the translated title, just somehow spells out G-MILF or GILF.
G-MILF Gundam.
Grandma's mysterious inclusion investigation liaisons.
Force.
Dude, I want them to be confused. I want them to be there like, where's all these ghosts again?
What if that's like my thing? I can only write manga about grandmas.
That's a talent, brother.
It's definitely in the same cinematic universe as Basketball Grandma. She's the head of basketball-related supernatural events.
I gotta beat these ghosts in a 3v3 game.
For the record, if I ever made a second Basketball Grandma, it was going to be her cock blocking her daughter on a date at the zoo, and she just intimidates the giraffes with her height.
David, that would be the second manga we read about basketball playing ghosts.
Oh, fuck. That was a major plot point.
Mitama Security.
Dude.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Let me finish this up. The ventriloquist girl appeared in the offer short series Kurama Divine Beastkeeper, and then MaxyBee also specifically notes her profile page also refers to her as the mysterious big baby girl.
What?
Which made them laugh. And volume extras include doodles, character profiles afterwards, a small epilogue comic that's 3 pages, so I guess we'll have to check that out. How to make the paper bag puppet, and some one-shots that became Shadow Eliminators.
That's cute.
All right, but let's move into final verdict, all right?
Mhm.
Let's get through some 6 returns from the community. Actually, Moogie, do you mind with your fantastic, honey to the ears voice, do you mind reading these?
Tucker says, peel back character designs, nothing underneath. MaxyBee says, a shadow of better exorcism manga. Artil says, wait guys, this isn't Persona 3. I actually really like that one because
I was thinking that too. Like, oh, I am the shadow, the true self.
Oh my gosh. Or a paladin. Isn't this that new Sonic movie? Both says, I'll eliminate your shadow. Shadow Eliminators.
Fucking
Blah Moo Moo says, nearly eliminated, overshadowed by everything else. Oh my gosh. Chicken Warlord says, best left unread in the dark. Oh my god. Don't read it and just keep it in the dark. That's so
scalding review.
Leave it in your room, turn the lights off, and never read it. Oh my gosh. Dackerson says, shadow inside of you? Okay, Chuny Bew.
Inside of you are two shadows. Both of them are eliminated. Fuck, that should have been my 6 words.
Oh my gosh. Diego says, they eliminate shadows, not see phantoms. Picture of Mr. Fantastic and the Thing from...
Yeah, if you go on our Discord, you can see the pictures that I've noted in these 6-word summaries.
Oh my gosh. I must then. Let's see. Deuterox, the Earthchild Stan, says, you can't eliminate the ultimate life form. Picture of Shadow and Shadow. Oh my gosh. Funky Act 4 says, they really did eliminate those shadows.
Yeah.
That they did. Glornak Ironspawn says, well, at least it's over now. Oh god. I did feel the same way, actually, unfortunately. Grey Potter says, instructions unclear. Eliminated shadow from memory. Damn. He's remarkably pessimistic. Oh my gosh. Isekai Sensei Sama says, first chapter title drop. Thread eliminated. Oh no. Let's see. JRPG Astrologist says, Black Hole Sun. Oops, it's a good one. Oops, it's done. Black Hole Sun. Oops, it's done. Capped Clueless says, eliminates interest or your money back.
Nice.
Lord Anubis says, let me guess, you're Bleach inspired? Picture of Emperor's New Grill. Hell yes.
Yeah, so good.
Luffy0321 says, Fujoshi bait ruined by nothing plot. Fujoshi, what's that?
I forget.
Fujiyoshi, those are like older women that I think, because the series did have a lot of yaoi baiting in it, which I actually forgot to put in my notes. So it's just like, imagine those like older women in like their 30s that aren't married, that are like kind of a little horny, you know, looking for some good yaoi times.
I think it's just like a demographic of readers.
Ah, gotcha.
Like older women who like yaoi.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's what Fujoshi. Oh, wow. I'm learning.
It sounds close enough.
Let's see then. Meru says, ghastly undertakers not delighting at manga.
Oh shit, we ended up in the South.
We're down in the bayou now. Portal Man says, should have leaned into the BL vibes. The BL vibes? What's that?
Boy love. So yeah, I don't know. I completely forgot to talk about how like queer baiting this manga was.
Yes.
That unironically would have made the plot better.
It would have been something.
Oh yeah, that's the way we would have fixed it. Is if this manga was way gayer, it would have been better.
It might have explained why they were friends all of a sudden.
What if this manga was literally that tweet where it's like people be posting how they're fighting their demons? It just turns out they're bisexual, and that's the entire theme of this manga.
It's the whole thing. What if that's his speech at the beginning? I just can't forgive myself, and so that's why I can wield the Kasane. And then it's every day he looks in the mirror like, I'm not gay, damn it.
Have you read Kurogavashi where the main character genuinely says, I keep my scar so every day I wake up and see it with fresh hatred?
Oh my god.
It's amazing.
Yeah, Jordan and I talked about, imagine a parody where a guy just has a tattoo on his forehead that says they killed your dad.
Memento.
I keep, just in case I forget my tragic backstory, every day I wake up and I remember, damn.
Just in case after I defeat the enemy, I get amnesia every time.
Just in case I think I deserve happiness, I look at this tattoo.
I remember when The Simpsons were funny and Homer like was smoking a ton of weed and he had to give it up. And Marge is like, why do you keep that blunt as a reminder? And on the blunt, it says Dentist Tuesday.
Oh my god.
Dude, when The Simpsons... Oh, man.
When The Simpsons were good, they were so fucking funny.
Oh, God.
God, that's amazing. Real says, oh boy, another bad Bleach clone. That is true. S. Bubby says, even worse than bad, forgettably mediocre. Scott says, oops, I forgot I read this. Spike says, oh my god, 1.2 terraformers worth of creativity. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. The Wig, the Wig Yeti?
I have no idea. You just call him Yeti.
The Wig Yeti, the the Wet Yeti. I'm going to say it's the Wet Yeti. Shadow slashing students sustain subpar storyline.
I just want you to know, I highlighted this and tried to change the font, and I couldn't.
It's because it's not a font. It's literally special characters.
Oh my god.
That's Conqueror's hockey right there.
It's Conqueror's hockey right there.
Can't change it.
You can't, it's his standability.
Yeah, can't change that. That's the sorriest devil fruit ever, but the Wet Yeti got it. He was like, yeah.
Just make his own font.
Yeah, you can't change my font.
This devil fruit just let him skip 5 years of art school.
Oh my gosh. The Wolf, the Wood, the Trafalgar says, Eliminators failed, still have my shadow. It's so He's like,
oh, that reminds me of stupid Delafritz. I told Jordan if we ever did One Piece RPG again, I wanted to do a guy who had a mythical zone that was Santa Claus.
oh my god. Oh my god. That is so funny.
I think that would be such a stupid fucking mythical zone.
You guys go on, I'll handle this. And he transforms.
Looks like Christmas has come early.
Oh my god.
You're all on the naughty list.
Oh my god.
I'm surprised there isn't already like a One Piece like version of Santa almost. Like
there was kind of alluded to in Chopper's arc where he's a flying reindeer in some scene.
That is true.
Yes, there's an entire reindeer character that's an allusion to Santa Claus.
In my lore, there definitely is. Like, I like to think that, like, there definitely is a Santa Claus, for sure. Just like in Naruto, like, there's Ninja Jesus. Like, there's got to be Santa.
Santa Claus can't be a mythical zone fruit because he's real.
Yeah. I want that to be dialogue. Luffy's like, you can't be a zone. Where do my presents come from if you're just like a zone fruit?
Luffy just knows Santa Claus and he just has never mentioned it. That's how Oda was so good, where Luffy said, no one ever asked that Ace isn't biologically related to me. Gold Rogers is his dad, and he got away with that line unironically.
That is my favorite, like, recurring joke of Luffy just knowing things, and he's just like, you never asked, so I never said it. Like, I don't know.
God.
Oh, yeah, Garp's my grandpa. Sorry, no one ever asked who my grandpa was.
It's within his character because he's so stupid, but, like, they should not let him get away with that shit.
It's amazing.
That's the thing is Oda is so good at writing. That would be terrible writing in almost any other series to withhold details like that. But Oda is able to actually make that work with Luffy.
Because as soon as he's around people where it matters, like he's just like, oh yeah, Dragon's my dad. Like with Ivankov, like everyone else, he would have no reason to like ever mention that. But he's like, oh yeah, you know him? Yeah, I guess he's my dad or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Why would Dragon show up to Ace's execution? Ace's Gold Roger is his dad. Oh, I thought you guys all knew that already.
Yeah, oh, well, don't tell anybody.
Wait, is Gold Roger your dad? Nah. The Revolutionary Dragon is my dad.
The most wanted man in the world is my dad.
Then he's like, oh, wait, yeah, don't tell anybody, though. Like, it's like you just told a boat full of all right, dude.
I absolutely would love to keep talking the shit about One Piece, but we have to finish this podcast.
Gotcha. Let's see. Thor says, "Rest in peace, paper bag girl." True, she was my waifu. Let's see. Watchtower. Well, it's an Exorcist manga again. Yeah, picture of Bill Murray from Groundhog Day.
All right, so and then mine is 4 plot hooks with yaoi bait, or alternatively, Exorcist manga didn't need to exor-exist.
Hey!
So I don't know which one of those do you prefer.
The first one's just like actual, like that's what happened, and then the second one is like that's a Didum Tis joke that I would like. I like that one.
I'll take it. And then Jordan, what was your 6-word summary?
It was please eliminate my Shadow Eliminator son.
See, Jordan already used his joke about the chaos testicles in a prior episode, so he couldn't do it again. Yeah. Which was, I think, your 6-word summary of the year last year.
No, that was my best one, yeah.
Yep. And then Mugi, sorry, what was yours?
Mine was just not that good. Could be better. Like, just not as fun. I want to come up with, I really like the idea of a character thinking that the Shadow Eliminators literally eliminate your shadows. So he like goes up to them and is, all right, I'll give you $50 if you make this son of a bitch go away. And he just points at his shadow and they're like, that's not, we don't.
We had that. I mean, someone said you should leave this manga in a dark room so it can be read. So he just turns the lights off in a room, and that's how he eliminates all the shadows.
That's probably my favorite one, honestly. Like, literally leave it in the room, turn the lights off, never touch it again.
Oh man. All right. And then do you guys think so is this a flop or a certified flop is the debate?
Certified flop.
All right. Yeah. So Mugi, the definition is, would you say this is bad or terrible?
I didn't like it at all. I could see how someone would get invested, but just where it goes and then ultimately where it ends, I would say there's just let it go, basically. I guess certified. It's definitely not the worst thing I've ever read, but I hate listing that. Like, that's not a compliment. Like, if I were an author and someone told me that would be like, so you just insulted me, like, wholeheartedly. So I never like saying that.
Yeah, this is so mediocre. It's offensively mediocre, I think is a good way.
Yes, exactly.
Since I thought this was bad, I'm actually going to say I think I thought it was a regular flop because Jordan, at least the art and pacing and it wasn't offensive. So I think this is really bad, but not atrocious.
Oh, I thought the pacing was atrocious.
Pacing was bad.
I just feel like we've read things way worse than this.
The storytelling was terrible to me. So I respect your opinion there. I think the way the execution was miserable. I mean, like, you can argue, oh, it wasn't offensive, sure, but it was terrible in my mind.
I think it was because it wasn't gay enough for you.
Yeah, that's why.
So I will say, though, that you should read any other Exorcist manga besides this. You can fucking read Phantom Seer, and at least you can enjoy the Dami Mommy in that.
You don't say.
So how about you, Jordan? What should someone check out instead of this?
Hey, do you like the idea of a guy with demon powers who has white hair and his evil twin brother who also has white hair and a demon inside? You should play Devil May Cry 3.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But not Devil May Cry 2.
No, don't play Devil May Cry 2. Devil May Cry 1 is also great. It's just there isn't an evil twin brother in that, really. There kind of is, but he's just kind of alluded to.
And then, Mookie, how about you? What should someone check out instead of reading this?
Oh, dude, Persona 3, 4, and 5. Just play them.
Yeah.
Just go through all three of those. They're infinitely better than this.
And 3 recently got remade.
Yeah. In fact, check out 3 first, probably. It's probably the most like this, I suppose.
Yeah, where they shoot themselves in the head.
Yeah. It was never controversial for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then, Jordan, you saw this was certified. I thought it was a regular flop. So that means it is definitely not the best or worst series we've ever read.
No, I agree. I don't think it's the worst thing we've ever read. I just think it is terrible.
This is on the upper echelon of certified flops, I feel, for you.
Did you say Escalon?
Elevator.
Okay.
This is the upper escalator.
Okay.
The upper escalator. Upper escalator. Eels and escalators. That's what I thought
I'm
of.
using the European expression. All right, let's get into wrap up. Mugi, I wish we had infinite time to talk to you. Probably not about this, but about One Piece. Thank you so much for joining us. I've had a blast. Can you tell the audience where they can find more of you in their life? Or sorry, where they can find more of their content added to their life?
That's a wonderful way to put that. Where can I find more of you in my life? It sounds like they're just like, it's such a Sanji thing to say. Well, I hang out at the bar mostly, drinking away my sorrows. And
You know, I feel like if I could rearrange the alphabet, I'd put I and you together.
Yeah, when you're not doing your full-time job of narrating like documentaries, where can they find you?
You can find me at the bar or at the museum, also getting drunk.
You can find me at the club, bottle full of bub. Come give me a hug.
Yeah. I'm just at my YouTube, Mugiwara no Goofy. Check me out. Or the Shonen Flop. This was an amazing time, honestly, and this was a very funny experience. I wish we could have. I guess this was the appropriate level of quality to make the conversation what it was. Hopefully, we could do it again with a story that fills us with more than the feelings that we had today. Maybe we could do that. But I had a great time. I had a wonderful time.
I'm so glad to hear it. We'll definitely try and find time to have you back on, hopefully for something better than this.
Yeah.
I also want to say props to Jordan for making the opening and end theme, being a great co-host and helping with editing.
Thank you, David, for all the hard work that you do on this podcast, including putting the structure together and editing.
Anytime, my friend. Props to Merliel for the awesome cover art. Find her online at Lyle Mur, and Nigel for being our generous art benefactor. Thank you, Dylan, for assistance with editing. You can find his podcast, Anime Out of Context, at animeoutofcontext.com. Thanks to Tucker and MaxyBee for assistance with pronunciation, translation, and other miscellaneous research. Find us on Twitter at Shonen Flopcast, Tumblr Shonen-Flop, our website shonenflop.com. We're also on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever else you get your podcasts. Come join the Shonen Flop Discord. Open to everyone, patron or not. Hang out with us and talk about anime, games, whatever else is on your mind. Even have a manga book club and movie nights. Find a link to it in the show notes or on our site, shonenflop.com. And if you've been enjoying the podcast and want to help us keep going, subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/shonenflop. Along with the warm and fuzzy feeling of helping us out, you also get access to monthly bonus episodes, including the Shonen Drop, where Jordan and I talk about the previous month's episode and open the mystery box. Jordan, what are our 2 pieces of bonus content this month for our wonderful patrons?
Yeah, David. So we are checking out the angriest manga that I've ever read, which is also If This Was a Flop. And the manga we're covering right now on that bonus podcast is an ultra super flop because it only went for 1 chapter.
Yeah.
Good God.
Oh, yeah. This is Cheat Slayer.
Gotta love it. And we're joined by like Brad, aka Isekai Sensei.
Yeah, with the great Brad, aka Isekai Sensei. Also, this month's mystery content, we are setting up our Dream Smash Brothers roster, for Shonen Flop.
Yeah, sounds good to me. And if that's not enough, other perks include picking a manga for us to cover in a main episode, episodes up to a week in advance, and behind-the-scenes content like our warm-up audio or recording notes. I also want to read off some of our wonderful patrons. I want to start by reading off our Dolphin Dads, a passion for flesh, absorbing masculinity, a part of you, blue, black lips, salivating as we kiss. Okay.
Hi, Ozzy Rat.
Glormac and Rachel, my wonderful wife, we're about to go have a Taco Bell date and use more of those coupons I got for almost dying at Taco Bell.
Yeah, right.
Oh, right on, dude.
Moving on down to the ravioli tier, where you get weekly pictures of my adorable Bernadoodle Ravioli. She has started tucking herself in bed, but now it's cold, so now she only puts her nose out of the cover. So it's literally just like the bottom quarter of her nose sticking out while she sleeps now.
Oh yeah, by the way, Mugi, last year at some point, David almost died when like a piece of ice at Taco Bell almost like went through his head.
Yeah. It missed me by like maybe 2 or 3 inches.
Whoa.
Yeah, so they sent me a coupon book of 30 free Taco Bell items.
Wait, what? Whoa! I thought you were talking about like something with food poisoning or something.
It's
Like
completely their fault.
They almost murdered you, and they gave you 3 free tacos. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's
That's
not.
so
Well,
funny.
I didn't get hit, so that's why I couldn't sue them.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, I understand. I guess I wouldn't. I obviously would take those 30 tacos, but I would be, every time I came back there, I'd be like, you know what? Y'all almost killed me. That's crazy.
Oh, I don't go to that Taco Bell to redeem the coupons.
Yeah. But what do you mean? Like an icicle? That's like what were you in Antarctica? What happened?
So imagine, so it was a soda fountain and the ice conveyor belt wasn't properly secured and part of it fell out of the ceiling.
That's so
like
crazy.
Imagine an entire ice tray fell about 10 feet in front of me.
Dude, oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I almost died at Taco Bell.
In a different way that people usually almost die at Taco Bell.
I would have never thought.
It was not food related.
Bro, I would be so hot if I woke up in heaven like, what happened? What did, like...
Oh, yeah, they didn't even apologize. I had to go to corporate and complain a bunch to get that coupon book.
Jesus Christ.
Are you... Bro,
Dead ass that I almost died at Taco Bell.
Oh my God, I would be 30 tacos. Yeah, sorry we almost killed you. I don't know. Here's 30 tacos, whatever.
That's about how much my life is worth.
Yeah, I was worth about 20, so I negotiated really well.
Oh my God.
So anyways, also you can get free Ravioli Magic the Gathering tokens I have made. We have Chris, Eva, Jeanette Davis, Lady T, Matt, Scarlett, T, Tiffany, and Trevor. Moving on down to the King of the Forest, we have 090Z, Bandit Stoof,
my girlfriend,
Brad, who is our guest on our show, Chad, Ivan, Jacob, Justin Hefner, Kirbymon, Marty, Riley, Sarah, T Wolfwood, and Tommy Boy. And a big thank you to our Galactic Ball Federation officers and our Beast Children.
Thank you all. I love you all so much.
Oh man. All right. Anything you want to toss in there, Jordan?
Check out Mission Ignition.
Yeah, podcast about something.
About vampires.
Let's get into sign off. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune in next Monday as we give our first thoughts on Green Greens. This has been David.
This has been Jordan.
This has been Mogi.
And you've been listening to Shonen Flop.
Keep on flopping floppers.
Yeah.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.